Now that we have a team mission, it'll show up right here on the top of our SWOT as we create it. So you can see it in between the title and the SWOT, make it so everyone can contribute in this example. This is the key question that we're going to use to guide us. And often we will find that people don't have these missions when they do their SWOTs. They just do a SWOT of the strengths and weaknesses of, finance or sales. That doesn't work. We need to know where we're going, because I would plan very differently if I'm going to the top of a local mountain versus the top of Everest. And if your vision is to go to Everest, then we need to know what your strengths and weaknesses are to get to Everest, not the top of Mount Whitney here in California. So once you have your team mission at the top, now the questions are, what are your strengths? So your current state today, what are the key strengths that you have that are enabling you to believe that you can achieve this bold team mission? So what's setting you up to go do that? What do you need to continue to leverage to make that happen? And what I recommend is having everyone on the team contribute to this collaborative SWOT, adding at least 3 to 4 items. Load up the list. The SWOT is built to show what we call focus mode, only the top 5 items. You can change that. You can show all, you can show 3, but we really like to focus on what matters. Reduce the noise as much as possible. So after you get a long list in the SWOT strengths, what I typically would do is I'll say, everybody, you get 1 star. Just click on the star icon for the one item that you think is the single greatest strength that we have. And then we'll sort this project by votes, which will put the top items with stars at the top. And then we'll say, great, you have 3 more stars. So you have a total of 4 votes and strengths of all the items in there. What are the biggest strengths? And you'll see the best things float to the top, and then you got to discuss it. This is the beauty of alignment, is the dialogue. Seeing that the top one, as you hover over stars, you'll see how many votes there are, has 6 votes. But then you'll see that there's some that are, ranked 7, 8 that have 2 votes. And you got to ask the team, does anyone want to make a case for one of these items that it should be higher, that people should change a vote, move a star for one of these? Or are we okay with these being down? It's a really awesome experience from what I've seen in my past. And so once we knock out strengths, we move on to weaknesses. Weaknesses are the things that we have to overcome. These are internal, so similar to strengths. These are things that we can control. So what are the things that we need to overcome? What's getting in the way of us achieving this mission and this bold vision? And so we list them out. Everybody puts in their top 3 to 4, and ideally those 3 to 4 are relevant to their team. So if they're on a sub-team and they're doing, their focus on their mission, what are their biggest weaknesses? They're bringing it to the table here. So as you list these out, again, do the voting. You can start with 1 star, but ultimately 4 stars, sort it to the top and get it focused. Now, as we move into opportunities and threats, these are external factors. These are the factors such as opportunities that you have to tap into. Things that are changing in the world. There could be new social trends, new technology, new privacy laws. Today AI is quite an opportunity for many. So what are the opportunities that you're going to have to tap into if you're going to achieve this bold vision? It could be partnerships. It could be external types of folks that you could tap into. But list them out. Bold thinking is required here. Make sure that you're really thinking about all the external factors that you could leverage to make sure that you're accelerating your ability to achieve this purpose and vision. And then lastly, the threats. These are external threats. These are the things like recession, new privacy laws. These are things such as, new technology making old technology no longer needed. What are the threats? These can be competitive threats out there. What are the things you got to mitigate? What are the things that could kill this team and this business and make it so you never achieve this big, bold vision? So how do we list these out? How do we prioritize these and understand where they are? And then lastly, once we have the SWOT sorted and focused, which is just a magical experience, we need to get to a conclusion. And the conclusion is why we're doing this. Based on that mission, based on the current state of our strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, what do we need to do next? What are the top 3 to 4 things that are the most important to do to accelerate our ability to achieve this mission? So have the team look at the SWOT and start to come up with different ideas. Sometimes I'll break a larger group up into 2 groups and say, take 20 minutes and you propose the top 3 to 4 items. If it's a smaller group, we would do it together. But really look at that and say, if there's only 3 things we can do or 4 things, what are they? And it, usually just jumps out at you. It's the top items, but you're like, oh, wow, we need to continue doing this. We need to tap into that or double down on this or solve this. But that is the conclusion that we're going to have. And this is the conclusion that is going to drive the objectives in the plan.